The Wagner Cruising Guide includes a chapter on Southeast Alaska describing the many marinas, anchorages, passages, and all the great sights from Ketchikan northward to Glacier Bay National Park, Haines, and Skagway. About 500 boaters visit Southeast Alaska every year. Visitors come to see the glaciers, mountain scenery, and wildlife. The distances between towns can be vast, so most boaters spend multiple seasons cruising Southeast Alaska. You will want to allow enough time for the trip up and back and time for weather contingencies. Don't forget to set your clocks to Alaska time, which is 1 hour earlier than Washington State and British Columbia time. Similar to the waters of BC, most of the cruising territory in Southeast Alaska can be done in protected inside waters. However, boaters must cross Dixon Entrance, the border between Prince Rupert, BC and Revillagigedo Channel, the gateway to Southeast Alaska. Watch the weather and plan your trip accordingly. Vessels can stay one night at anchor in Foggy Bay before proceeding to Ketchikan to clear customs with prior approval from CBP. Once in Alaska, boaters will find that the waterways of Southeast Alaska lend itself to making a loop or a circle in a counterclockwise direction for touring the area. You can start from Ketchikan going up Clarence Strait to Wrangell and Petersburg, then continue up Stevens Passage to Juno. Boaters can loop around and head back south via Chatham Strait, with several different passages to return back to Ketchikan. This natural loop has several side trips which are described in the Wagner Cruising Guide. Most guest moorage in Southeast Alaska is via the hot berthing system, meaning that permanently assigned slips are temporarily assigned to visiting boats when the permanent tenant is away from their slip. The Marinus harbor master coordinates all hot berthing activity. Most marinas do not take reservations, but you may call ahead the day of arrival for an assigned space. Be sure to specify your power requirements. Some marinas have a few designated first-come, first-served guest spaces, which are marked on our dock diagrams in the Wagner Guide. There are ample opportunities to anchor in the bays of Southeast Alaska. You should be equipped for deep water anchoring. However, it's not required in order to enjoy cruising Southeast Alaska. You will simply need to be flexible enough to pick and choose your anchoring locations. Be flexible and have the right expectations, and you'll surely have a great time and enjoy the many wonderful destinations. Starting in Ketchikan, here are a few favorites. In Ketchikan, visit the Totem State Park on the north end of town, which is open to the public at no charge. You can also visit the Saxman Native Village on the south end of town to tour the carving shed, Beaver Clan House, and enjoy native dance performances. To see unrestored totems from the 1800s, visit the excellent Totem Heritage Center Museum. Ketchikan offers plenty of shopping, including the art shops and gift shops found along Creek Street. Creek Street was once the red light district of Ketchikan from 1903 to 1954. Ketchikan has 3 public marinas and 3 private marinas for guest moorage, each with its own personality. Visiting Misty Fjords is the perfect side trip from Ketchikan. Circling through Beam Canal around Revillagigedo Island, you can marvel at the granite-faced mountains, granite bowls, and waterfalls. Traveling north of Ketchikan, spend a night at the tiny village of Myers Chuck, which offers a 325-foot public float. Casey, the postmistress, may stop by for a visit and take your order for cinnamon buns to deliver the next morning. Be sure to hike the forest trails, where you will find creative local art displayed in the backwoods. Across the channel of Clarence Strait from Myers Chuck is the much larger body of water of Thorn Bay. Thorn Bay has ample guest moorage and a well-stocked grocery. The village of Thorn Bay was once an active logging camp and later a hub for transporting logs. You can see the huge grapple that remains just outside of town. This grapple, known as the claw, hoisted bundles of logs weighing up to 200,000 pounds. You might want to rent a truck at the local B&B to drive across Prince of Wales Island to visit Craig, Alaska, or make arrangements with the Thorn Bay Ranger District to tour the El Capitan Caves. In Kassan Bay, a short distance south of Thorn Bay, is the native village of Kassan with complimentary guest moorage. Their carving shed, where canoes are carved in the traditional manner, is worth a visit. A single cedar log is carved, then steamed with hot rocks and water to widen the canoe. You can also pay to see the totems and refurbished hide-a-well house through a trail into the forest. Continuing up Clarence Strait and through the Wrangell Narrows, you will arrive at Petersburg, surrounded by mountain peaks and stunning scenery. Petersburg, with its Norwegian heritage, is a major Alaskan fishing community, offering 3 marina facilities managed by the borough of Petersburg. A few cafes, shops, and a grocery store can be found in town. A large grocery store is near the airport at the edge of town. Be sure to visit Hammer Slough and Singly Alley, the original beginnings of Petersburg. If you happen to be there on the 3rd weekend in May, you can join the festivities of the Norwegian Constitution Day, known as Little Norway Festival. A must-see is nearby LeConte Glacier. You can take your boat part way, but due to the thick ice floes, it's recommended to see LeConte Glacier via a small local tour boat out of Petersburg. Visiting the glaciers is one of the reasons boaters come to Southeast Alaska. North of Petersburg, off Stevens Passage, are Endicott Arm and Tracy Arm. For the most part, they are easily accessed by private boat, or you can choose a tour operator out of Juneau. The 30 nautical mile trip up Endicott Arm terminates at Dawes Glacier. Calving and ice floes can keep boats a couple miles away. Boaters can more easily travel up Tracy Arm, which splits, leading in 2 directions, North Sawyer Glacier and South Sawyer Glacier. The South Glacier is more prone to calving, while the North Glacier is known for its deep blue color. Across Stevens Passage from Endicott Arm is the Pack Creek Bear Viewing Site, located behind Glass Peninsula up Seymour Canal on Admiralty Island. Overnight anchorage can be found in Windfall Harbor 3.5 miles south of Pack Creek. Day anchorage is good near the dinghy landing site. Dinghies are tied to a clothesline system to be kept away from shore and out of reach from the grizzly bears. The area is managed by Fish and Wildlife Rangers and Forest Service personnel. Access is by permit from June 1st through September 10. You can reference the Wagoner Guide for more details. Boaters should contact the ranger on VHF Channel 16 prior to coming ashore. Don't forget to bring your permit. You will be met on shore and accompanied to the estuary viewing site. You may then hike the 1-mile boardwalk trail to an observation tower overlooking the creek, where bears can be seen scooping up migrating salmon. It's truly a special experience with close-up views of grizzly bears in the wild. The next major stop along the loop route through Southeast Alaska is Juno and Douglas, located along Gastineau Channel. Juneau, the capital of Alaska, has big box stores like Costco, Fred Meyer, and Home Depot. The borough of Juneau manages 3 marina facilities near the city, 2 of which are north of the Douglas Bridge with a 51-foot clearance at mean-high water. Douglas Marina on the west side of Gastineau Channel is south of the bridge and is the best choice for sailboats. There are many interesting sites to visit in the Juneau-Douglas area. Gold mining played a big role in the history of Juneau and Douglas. You can reminisce over the gold mining days at the Last Chance Mining Museum in Historic Park, or take a tour inside the AJ mine. Both sites are located above present-day downtown Juneau. In Douglas, you can walk the extensive trails through the ruins of the once famous Treadwell mine, which housed and employed 2,000 people in this company town. On a clear day, be sure to take the tramway that runs up the mountainside from downtown Juneau for breathtaking views of Gastineau Channel and beyond. Hiking trails lead from the top of the tram through mountain meadows. You might want to take the city bus or rent a car to visit Mindenhall Glacier just off the highway. Trails from the visitor center lead to the spillway of the glacier. From Juneau, you can complete your loop tour by heading back south down Chatham Strait, or before doing so, take the side trip up beautiful Lynn Canal to Chilkoot Inlet in the town of Haines, with its imposing Fort Seward, the last of a series of 11 military posts established in Alaska during the Gold Rush era. Before heading back down Lynn Canal, consider reliving the Klondike Gold Rush days reenacted in Skagway. While in Skagway, ride the railroad to the summit of White Pass, which parallels the famous Chilkoot Pass, hiked by thousands of gold prospectors that headed into Canada. Don't forget to bring your passport. After coming back down Lynn Canal, turn west and venture into Glacier Bay National Park. The park consists of 3.3 million acres of mountains, glaciers, fjords, and wild coastlines. A permit is required to enter the park during the prime season, June 1 to August 31. A stop in Bartlett Cove for an orientation is also required. Anchoring depths in Bartlett Cove are very doable and allow you the convenience of visiting the lodge, the native Hoona ancestors' house, and receiving your orientation. Details are included in the Wagoner Guide. South of Glacier Bay, across Icy Strait, is the native village of Hoona in Port Frederick. Hoona is a friendly, attractive village with guest moorage. Be sure to visit Icy Strait Point, a refurbished cannery from 1912 that houses shops and historic cannery equipment. It's a pleasant 2-mile walk from town along the water. The cannery is only open when the cruise ship is in town, so check with the harbor master for the latest schedule. The cannery location is also the site of the world's largest zip-rider zip line. It's a mile long and drops over the valley floor from atop the 1,500-foot-high Hoona Mountain. On your way back south, down Chatham Strait, you might want to stop at the tiny village of Tinney Key Springs. Follow the pathway from the docks to the cute country store and enclosed hot springs. Take time to enjoy the beautiful anchorages along the east coast of Baranof Island, including Red Bluff Bay or Warm Springs, where you can soak in the natural springs, or the enclosed tub area above the docks. If you're not yet ready to head back home, we suggest cutting through Baranof Island via Peril Strait to visit Sitka on the west side of Baranof Island in Sitka Sound. Sitka offers several moorage options, with anchorage available behind the entrance breakwater. Sitka is a fascinating town, rich in Russian-American history and Tlingit history. Visit the Russian Orthodox Church with 17th century artifacts and the Bishop's House, built in 1842 by the Russian-American Company. For a lovely walk, visit the Sitka National Historic Park on the mouth of Indian River, where a battle between the Russians and the Tlingit took place in 1804. There are several museums in town covering Tlingit, Russian, and American history that are definitely worth visiting. Boaters will find groceries, interesting shops, good restaurants, and sightseeing, all accessible in Sitka. Cruising Southeast Alaska is a dream for many boaters who want to make it a reality. We hope we have inspired you to explore this last frontier. We wish you happy sailing and an incredible journey.